welcome to our activities at home. Today I'm going to talk to you about some mindfulness activity that you can do, and then I'm going to talk you through what is guided meditation and one of my favorite um, guided meditation stories, and I'm going to read it to you. So today we're just going to focus on being able to relax, being able to keep our mindset in the present. Because right now, during this time, it could be very easy to, think about, the past, even just the past 6 weeks, maybe, thinking about, a lot of the negatives, what did we miss? What, what have we had to cancel? What are things that, we miss out by not being able to see our friends and family. But then, you know, worrying about the future. When are we going to be able to get together again? When maybe are you able to go back to work? When are when are these kids going to be able to go back to school? When is just society going to be able to get back to its norm, and what is that new norm going to look like? And so I know it can be very exhausting reading all the news stories and watching the news and talking to your friends. And we're about 6 weeks in from when all this has started, and it's very, for lack of a better word, it's very normal right now to feel just over it, right? Like, to be sitting here and thinking about, I just want this to be over with. I just want to go back, and then feeling that out of control. Okay. So, some things that we can do to be able to combat some of those anxieties or those thoughts. One is, the term itself, mindfulness, might seem, overwhelming, but it's really about being in the present moment. There's some, complex things that we can do to practice mindfulness, and then there's some really simple things that we can do. An example of something that I do, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, and it seems silly, but washing my dishes every day. I have to wash them by hand. I don't own a dishwasher, and just having either some music on or a podcast and focusing on that. But then even more so, just focusing on, the temperature of the water, washing each dish, just being in that moment. When I start thinking about, oh my goodness, what is the work I have to do tomorrow? What is the schoolwork my children have to complete tomorrow? What news is going to come out tomorrow? I stop myself and I say, no, what? We're gonna stay in this moment. We're gonna do these dishes. We're gonna pay attention to just this and just be in that moment. And I give myself those, 20 minutes or however long, just to be in that present moment. And it really does help. It helps at the end of my day. Some other moments, really you can just do it at any time. So in the morning, if it's waking up and, just sitting in your bed or sitting on your couch or in your favorite chair and just taking in some deep breaths and just thinking about, what's in front of me, what can I hear, what can I see, just being in that moment and then giving yourself that time to really collect yourselves and collect your thoughts is going to be really helpful. Okay. So added on to that, so that can be really difficult sometimes if you have, it takes a lot of practice, to really stay in that mindset, to stay in the present. It's very typical, especially during these times, to be, see my cat. He's not gonna stop. So you get to see my cat every few minutes. It's very, very typical to have extra anxieties right now. It could be, just worrying about this situation. So I'm going to give you permission, because maybe you're not giving yourself permission, but I'm going to give you permission for 2 minutes to literally say either out loud or write it down saying, you know what? It sucks. This is annoying. I don't want to do this anymore. These are conversations I've had with friends and family over the last couple of days, and people just saying, like, I'm an optimistic person. I see the bright side of things. Others, just I'm always a negative person, but I'm trying to stay optimistic. And, being optimistic doesn't mean that you can't say this sucks. Being optimistic doesn't mean you can't say, you know what, today wasn't the best day, right? Being optimistic means that you can say, this sucks. Today wasn't a good day. Yesterday maybe it wasn't the best day. Like when you wake up being like, you know what, yesterday was, I don't want to do that again. And then saying, what can I do better? What can I do to help myself, to help those around me? Or just what can I do to put myself into a better mindset? So one of the things that you can do, and I'm going to walk you through it, is, finding some really good guided meditation. So for this part, if you want to actually experience what guided meditation is, because I'm just going to read it to you, so there's not too much to watch at this moment. I want you to, if you need, pause the video, find a comfy spot, lay down on your bed, lay down on your couch, sit in your recliner, put your feet up, lay on the floor if that's what you want. Wrap yourself, lay under a weighted blanket. If you want to learn how to make a weighted lap pad or even something a little bigger, watch my previous video because it's really cool. The weight can really be helpful. If you need to roll yourself up into a blanket like a burrito, because that's how my son likes to sleep, whatever you need to do to get comfortable and, just be in a spot that you're ready to listen to this guided meditation. Okay, so I am taking in the assumption you paused and you're comfortable. So really, I'm going to have to read this off my phone because I want to make sure that I get it right. I've sat through many presentations where people have, done these. I listened to some guided meditation. I read them, and it really does help. Okay. So again, just going to read it from my phone. So you're making yourself comfortable lying down on your bed or on the floor or wherever where you can be comfortable. Maybe putting a pillow under some sort under your knees. Allowing your eyes to close and your body to just melt in the floor, the bed, or the couch, or the chair. And allowing your attention to gently come into the body and flowing of the breath. Experiencing the sense of the body as a whole, simply lying here, extended and breathing. When you feel ready, picturing in your mind's eye the image of a lake. Perhaps a lake that you know well and frequent, or one that you've seen in a photograph, or an imaginary lake for that matter. Just seeing if you can bring that image into vivid focus in your mind's eye. Noticing how it's an extended body of water, held in the depression of the earth's surface, and perhaps fed by a spring or a stream. If you watch and observe the lake carefully, you'll notice that it's always changing, and yet it's always itself. It changes as the sun moves around the sky. The light is reflected off the water in different ways. It changes depending on the weather. Sometimes, on very calm days, the surface might be like glass and reflect virtually everything with great precision that comes by. Clouds, birds, the trees that might surround the lake, the sun as it makes a journey across the sky, and for that matter, the moon and the stars at night. So there are times when the lake is extremely reflected and contains a certain way everything that comes by or over it. In different periods of time, the surface might be choppy or railed, and sometimes quite pronounced in the waves, in which times of light might sparkle off the waves in different ways, like a mirage of jewels. Of course, the lake changes through the seasons. In the winter, depending on its location, it might actually be frozen over, or at least on the surface. Through day and night, and through the seasons, and through the years, the lake is constantly changing, but always is its own essential nature. Let's see if we can't invite the lake to become coexistent to our own body, lying here so that our body becomes the lake itself. We also held and embraced as we lie here, aware of the many ways in which our own mind is like the surface of the lake, sometimes highly reflected and sometimes choppy. Getting in touch with the sense of the entire lake, the full body of water, not only in the surface but down below. As we lie here, just experiencing the fullness of our own being, so that even at times when our mind is choppy and upset or reactive, or dealing with difficult things, that we can drop down beneath the surface of our own mind's waves and find a stillness and a calmness that's always here and always available to us with each and every breath. And certainly when we come to lie down in this way. Lying here under the canopy of our vast awareness, experiencing the moment to moment changes in the body and sensations, thoughts, feelings, impulses, sounds, and all the while lake-like. Just simply laying here, watching the play of the weather of the mind and the body, allowing the awareness to hold it all, moment by moment, breath by breath, in our own fullness, in our own completeness, moment by moment. Just take a deep breath. If you need to, rewind it, listen again. If you enjoyed that, find, you can look up other, guided meditation that's offered through YouTube or some apps. You can download some of these. You can read it to your family, have a family member read it to you. I really find that they're calming, and I really hope you enjoy this. Next week, I'll have some more activities to show you how to do, and we're working hard in the newsletter to get that out to all of our folks and our volunteers, to let you know about some things that will be coming up and adding on to our activities. Still from home, but finding some creative ways to interact with you. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of your night, enjoy the rest of your day, have a good weekend, and just remember that it's okay to not be okay, but only sit there and for a moment and remember to find that stillness.